Good morning, everyone. Well, it's morning for us. Who knows what time it is for you? It's something I say every time. But yes, good morning for us. I'm here with Senior Will again.
Keith, there's no power up like dancing. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Does that mean you're dancing?
No, I just replayed Super Mario Odyssey recently, and there's a song in it with lyrics, and that's one of the lyrics.
Oh,
I think it's
really?
really funny.
That that does sound actually.
There's no power up like dancing. It's really good.
Yeah, I was wondering
It's
how
sung by a lady.
it's sung by a lady.
It's sung by. Yeah, so there's not quite as much like deep bravado as I give it, but yeah, it's pretty great.
I kind of like your version.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
The little bit I've heard.
Before we start talking about Super Mario Odyssey for the next 2 hours,
Right.
We're back for another Blue to Black, Keith.
That's right.
I don't know if you knew, but that's what I'm planning for this conversation, is to have another episode of that.
Oh, yeah. I believe that's also what I'm planning. Yeah. Blue to black.
Okay, awesome.
Going from blue Pokemon to black Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's
I
happened?
believe you have 4 badges now, Keith?
I do have 4 badges. That's what I was about to say. I was about to ask you if you know what happened since last time we spoke, and that is that I got 2 more badges.
Excellent. Sorry, I'll stop stepping on your toes now.
No, you're fine. Step on my toes.
So you just got the Nimbasa City badge, I imagine.
Yes,
The city
that is
with
correct.
the Ferris wheel.
I tell you what.
Our first ever Ferris wheel.
And
What's up?
Is that the first Ferris wheel in Pokemon?
Yep. Only one to date, I think. It really stands out to me about Black Ferris wheels.
Gotcha. Well, I was about to say I'll tell you something about Nimbasa City is that it really gave me a run for my money.
Ooh,
yeah, man.
A nice tease for people.
I had to grind. Right. But we
Excellent.
We don't have to talk about Nimbasa yet. We haven't even been to Celestial.
Yep. So first off, last week I meant to ask you this, but I kind of forgot because we record these like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And my brain wasn't quite working.
Absolutely.
Wasn't quite, all the gears weren't quite spinning yet. I meant to ask you, so your last experience with Pokemon, at least the core RPG series of Pokemon, was Red and Blue, or Blue specifically on the Game Boy.
Right.
Now you're on the Nintendo DS.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that stands out about you, or stands out to you about the move in technology, or is it kind of like just what you expected? It's basically just like the Game Boy game on the DS.
It's more than that, because the Game Boy game, it was like black and white with like a little bit of, it was like that Game Boy look, but it wasn't everything was like tinted blue. It wasn't like color really. It was just everything had a blue tint to it.
Yeah, because Red and Blue were actually just Game Boy games. They weren't specifically made for the Game Boy Color, so it was one of those deals where it would have color on the Game Boy Color, but it would just be like one color or like shades of the same color.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. No. So I think there's definitely a progression there. One of the things that I found interesting, I think this is a good time to talk about it, is because the first time that anything wild kind of happens, I say wild, but anything like 3D that kind of breaks from the normal like top down, you're walking around with the camera above you, is whenever you cross that bridge and then you go into Celestial City, and then once you're in Celestial City, the way you navigate that is a big change. I thought that was cool. It kept things fresh for me.
It is really cool, actually. Still to date, I think it's called Castelia. I always want to say Celestial, but it's Castelia.
Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's Castelia. I could be wrong, but yes. Oh no, don't apologize. Castelia City, I think that's still like the largest scale that they've ever had in a Pokemon game. Even the ones on 3DS, there's never a city that's quite that huge.
Yeah, that was another thing, is like playing through it, I was thinking, man, they call these cities, but can you really call 4 buildings in the middle of a field of cities? But then then I was like, okay.
Like, Keith, wait. Yeah, all right.
It was
so
like
that's clearly like a Manhattan. Yeah.
Right.
I think I told you how this region's based on America. as opposed to Japan. So that's your Manhattan right there. That's your Big Apple.
Nice.
Of the Pokemon world.
I love it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my time there. One thing that I
What'd you think about?
Sorry. Yeah, it's hard when we're not actually looking at each other. No, you go ahead. Mine. I don't think mine is really a crux to this conversation.
I was just going to ask you while we're in Castelia City, what'd you think about the gym leader there, Berg? Quite flamboyant.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know what he looks like really what he looks like until the gym battle and that little banner comes across and it actually shows you what you're supposed to be picturing him as. Yeah. And so up until that point, I really didn't have that opinion, but then I was like, he is kind of flamboyant. He's got a...
Yeah. He's an artiste.
Right.
I like how his gym is just like a bunch of... I think his gym changed in black and white too, I think. Or maybe it's where you're walking through the honey, right?
Yeah,
you have to push yourself through the honey.
I don't know if I wrote that down, but yeah, didn't write it down, but I think I did. Honey, I have a note that says honey walls ? Like, I don't understand. I knew that he was an artist, but how does that apply?
Yeah, I don't know. This is the gyms. This is where they're starting to get weird in the series.
Yeah.
In the series that this is based on, Brandon plays Pokemon. Kyle Bossman gets kind of upset because he talks about how in later Pokemon games the gyms just become these vast, complex machinations where it's like, I like bug Pokemon, so I'm gonna have a spiderweb gym. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Or like the
it's.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I wasn't even gonna say.
Oh, I
wasn't even gonna say anything important.
I was about to reveal actually that I have moved on from these 4 badges and gone to the next one, but I will just spoil a little bit of that in the gym with the clay guy and Driftvale or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Like this guy's got a mile worth of tunnel that he's burrowing down into the ground for his gym.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later.
Ooh, I love Clay. I do love that man.
Yeah. So give me your questions about these 2 badges, Will. I'm sure you got some questions.
All right. Well, just kind of like touch and base kind of thing. I would like to know, what are the 6 Pokemon in your party right now, Keith? You don't have to have like settled on them as like your guys for the Elite Four, but I would just like to know who you're roaming around with in your pockets.
Right now, I would say at the end of the 4th gym, I'm roaming around with my boy, Bacon. That's Pig Knight to the layman. Excellent. I actually did go back because I noticed I was fighting some folks who had a Blitzel. And I was like, that's pretty cool, horse electric looking Pokemon. So I went back and found one of those. And now, I think it's a female, but it's possibly a male. He or she is really nestling in to be a keeper in the party. Got a Pansage. Woobat is still hanging in there. Thumper, my Timber, is still in there, and my Timpole is still hanging in there for my current team, or at least whenever I completed the Nimbasa gym.
Nice, excellent. I like how you got a fire, a grass, and a water Pokemon in there.
Oh yeah, I gotta stay well rounded, man. I gotta be able to, especially seems like Pansage really knows how to tear him up. I think he learned a move called Seed Bomb, and water Pokemon beware. Let me tell you, water Pokemon beware.
Seed Bomb. That's a good move. It's got like 100 base power.
Oh, my boy tears him up.
So early. Nice. He evolves not strictly by leveling up. Would you like to know how he evolves so you're not stuck with the Pansage the entire game?
Well, I don't want to do. Or would you like to just? Don't want to spoil anything, but in the episode 4, I'll tell you. We'll talk about that a little more. How about that?
Okay. All right, Keith, jumping ahead of me a little bit. I like it. So when you're in Nimbasa City, I believe you take a fateful Ferris wheel ride with my boy N.
The big reveal. Yes.
The king of Team Plasma. We've never had a king of a team before.
Yeah, I still don't exactly get their hierarchical structure. I assume it's like this: a teenage king. You got a teenage king, and then these 7 adult sages that all listen to him.
Maybe.
Gotcha.
There's more to N in Team Plasma than you probably know right now.
I'm sure there is.
Yep.
Because they've currently got me a little bit confused.
Yes, it'll make sense near the end. I'm very excited to talk to you about that. But sorry, I think we're both you and I are both still waking up, Keith.
I agree. For some reason, I think
people at home, full disclosure.
Yeah, I have full disclosure about that, and I think something about my internet is a little bit slow this morning, so I feel like there may be a bit of a lag, so I don't want people to think that either of us are just staring here blankly while we make the other one sweat, waiting for a response.
Yeah, I was actually about to say, it's kind of like on like the Today Show or like the news, whenever like 2 people will be talking to each other and they're not in the same room, and it's a 10-second delay, you know?
Yeah, it's like you just ask a question.
Like the guy sitting there for about 5 seconds.
Right, yeah. You just ask a question and I'll just like hold my ear. Oh yeah, well actually, yeah, that's a good question. On, right? Very good question.
Yeah.
Again, also I know you can't see me, so I'm holding my ear.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying I know you can't see me, but I was doing a visual thing where I actually did hold my ear, so I just wanted to let you know that I did do that.
Excellent. Excellent visual. I like it. So while we're talking about Team Plasma and how you don't quite get what's going on with them yet, I believe we're backtracking a little bit here, but in Nakreen City, home of Aunt Jemima herself.
Okay.
Team Plasma, you know how her gym is like a museum?
Mm-hmm.
Team Plasma was specifically trying to steal some dragon Pokemon bones.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know if anything about that specifically stood out to you.
Is that Pokemon a Dragonite? One of those big ones from back in the day?
It looked like it. Because like whenever you get the bones back, it does that thing like whenever you get a key item and it kind of like shakes it in front of the screen and goes, "Look at what you got," kind of Zelda style.
Yeah.
And the dragon bone, it's like a skull and it does kind of look like a Dragonite, but they're not actually looking for Dragonite. That would be cool if they were looking for Dragonite, but they're looking for they're trying to somehow attain the legendary Pokemon of the Unova region. Which is either Reshiram if you're in white and Zekrom if you're in black, but they're trying to revive the legendary Pokemon for some reason.
Ooh.
And this is interesting, Keith. Specifically for you, you seem kind of excited about that possibility, but as for me, the idea, by the time I played Black and White, the idea of an evil team trying to resurrect a legendary Pokemon for nefarious purposes was like, been there, done that. But you coming from Red and Blue, this is like your first time dealing with that, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, first time dealing with it. I don't even remember the plot of Pokemon Blue as far as outside of catch the Pokemon, battle the gym leaders. So yeah, that really was the plot. Other than you encounter Team Rocket a few times and you just like battle them, but it's never really clear like what Team Rocket was even doing other than they are doing bad things with Pokemon. Stop them. Like. Right.
Black and White is definitely a step above Red and Blue in terms of story. A step above of all the Pokemon games up to this point, I think. You might not have really gotten to that yet for it to really stand out to you, but I think the story of Black and White gets really, really interesting.
Oh, no, yeah. I think so far, even...
I already think it's... Yeah, just the idea of Team Plasma being like PETA of the Pokemon world.
Just the fact that you have that outer narrative to catch Pokemon, battle gym trainers, I think that's a big step.
Yeah, for sure. You said something about Nimbasa City. You needing to grind a little bit there.
Oh yeah, I did. Definitely needed to grind in Nimbasa City. So after the big reveal, the big reveal, but I really actually got to see the big reveal about 5 times because in Sigilif Pokemon, he just ripped us a new one every time I went over there.
Huh. So N was giving you trouble.
Yes, I don't know what it was about it. I think it was the Sigilif. It was the Psybeam move. For some reason, it was just knocking him down as fast as I could stand a Pokemon up. So you know what I did to kind of take care of my business?
What'd you do, Keith?
I went to the desert, and I caught me a Sigilif, and I gave N a little taste of his own medicine.
Excellent.
It was that Sigilif.
What did that Sigilif exactly do to N? I'm kind of under the impression that all of N's Pokemon are kind of Dark-type Pokemon, which I could be wrong. Sure. But what did that Sigilif do for you exactly?
Well, the whole thing is I was able to kind of take care of the rest of his Pokemon without using the Sigilif. The Sigilif was just insurance policy to give me a matching Pokemon for the one that was destroying me, so that I could just maybe barely hold out until the victory.
Uh-huh. I gotcha. What was the problem Pokemon with N's team?
It was Sigilif definitely, and then he had a little red Pokemon guy with arms. He like falls asleep or something. I forget what. He's like a fire type, maybe. But he was using this.
Darumaka? It's like a fire monkey? Mm-hmm. Like a fire ape? Okay.
Exactly. And
I think N's team kind of like changes every time you battle him, because I think the lore behind that is that like N doesn't really like battling Pokemon, so he kind of just catches ones that are around for a battle that he needs to have and then releases them.
Yeah.
So his team changes.
That's kind of cool. The feel that I got from him as well on that one. Because it didn't seem like it was the same thing that he had last time.
Yeah. Also, N, I think this is the first time we've ever had a human that can communicate with Pokemon in the way that he does. It seems like he has some kind of telepathy and can just read Pokemon's minds. I don't know if you caught that, but I think like the first time you battle him, he's like, let me talk to your Pokemon real fast to see how it feels about you. And he is like, oh, your Pokemon actually liked you. And he's like kind of taken aback by it.
Yeah, I don't think I like caught that as a specific thing. I thought that was just like someone looking at your dog and be like, "Ooh, your dog really likes you" or whatever. But
oh yeah,
that makes more sense now that you say that.
Yeah, he actually can communicate with Pokemon. I think it'll make that a little bit more clear for you later on. But yeah, he's a really cool character, and his name's N. Like, his name's just a letter. It's really funny.
Only the Japanese can take those kinds of liberties and still entertain us.
Yep, absolutely. Did you? I remember during our break between recording these, I asked you during the week, or I recommended that you, because you had told me you were having some trouble in Nimbasa City, and I assumed you were talking about the gym, and I recommended that you catch a Sandile in the desert before Nimbasa City. Did you take my advice? I
did take your advice, Will. I'll do you one better, because the Nimbasa gym is the electric Pokemon gym.
Uh-huh.
So that Sigilif I had, I got a Sandile and I got a Roggenrola, and we went in there and we tow him up.
Excellent.
I had
because she's got that weird that flying squirrel Pokemon.
God, I hate that
thing so
much.
So a rock Pokemon would help you out there. Dude, me too.
I hate that
it uses the Volt Switch and just switches out. And
oh yeah.
Hits you and switches out. Yeah. In Black and White and Black and White 2, that Emolga always gives me trouble.
I play most of what I get done in my office, so it's I have to like rein in my frustration and not like shout at the DS while I'm playing it. But I really wanted to during those Pokemon.
Come on, Emolga!
Don't you Volt Switch again?
From the cubicle.
Yeah. Yeah. What is he talking about? That would be rather humorous.
That would. Well, we're at about 23 minutes right now, Keith.
Yeah, we are. This has been a long one.
Start wrapping this up.
But I don't
It
really.
has been a long one.
I don't really have anything extra.
Even though we're having this issue where we keep talking over each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we're on just the morning news. There's one more question I have for you before we leave off. And that is, how's Bacon doing?
Bacon is doing just fine. He has seen a lot less use in recent battles, just because they're a little bit more specifically not his what he does well against. But he always stays in the team.
Sometimes you gotta sit on the bench.
Yeah. I'm very attached to him. Very attached to him. He's always on the team. Even if we're going to like a full water city, Bacon's still going to be on the team. He's going to be on the team, watching, learning, enjoying himself.
Nice. In high school, whenever I was in class and was not paying attention, as was my usual, I would draw Pokemon a lot, Pokemon inspired art. And one of my favorite things to do would be to draw my friends as Pokemon trainers with like a Pokemon that, like, their signature Pokemon that I would imagine they would have. And I really want to draw a picture of Pokemon trainer Keith with a Pig Knight next to him. You know?
Hey, that'd be awesome.
I might have to do that.
I think I think you know how like people say they're I know we're talking over each other and I apologize. But
it's okay.
You know how people will say like, oh, dog owners look a lot like their dogs or whatever. I feel like me and Pig Knight could have that effect.
Nice.
Couple of plump boys.
So, don't be like that. All right. Well, I think that probably about wraps it up for this week. I'm probably about to crawl myself back into bed. Keith, you have fun at work.
Will do.
That's what you're doing today.
Yeah, that's what I got to do today, my man. Well, folks, I hope you have enjoyed this tale of my experience in Pokemon Black with the Pokemon guru himself, Will Namnit. We hope that you will like and you will comment, you will subscribe on this video. We will hopefully have this internet lag issue fixed for you by the next one. But until then, we'll hopefully see you next time. Bye.
All right. And remember, folks, there's no power up like dancing.